All right, you guys, we just hopped off the live stream for the Team USA versus Puerto Rico game for the Women's FIBA World Cup qualifiers that are currently being played in Puerto Rico. And I have to say, tonight's game was very different from the game that we witnessed last night against Team Senegal. And I was even debating doing a recap video about this game because it was not good basketball. It really wasn't. And a lot of these games, you guys, like Team USA is a much better team than a lot of the teams that they're going to be going up against. Like we are going to see a lot of blowout games. There might be a decent game against Italy. There might be a decent game against Spain.
The scoreboard shows 91-48, but those numbers should not fool anyone for even a moment. This was not the type of performance you expect from Team USA. It was a messy and frustrating display that should have basketball fans across the country shaking their heads. We are talking about the global powerhouse of the sport, yet when they stepped onto the court in Puerto Rico, the team looked disconnected, flat, and completely out of rhythm. The energy was off, the execution simply was not there, and several of the coaching decisions left people confused. For a roster loaded with talent, the performance felt far below the standard. More than anything, it served as a reminder that something in the current approach to managing this team just is not working the way it should.
The topic that I'm about to bring up is not the end of the world. It truly isn't. But when you had Caitlin Clark and Ryan Howard clearly be the two best players on the court and have the best games last night in that game versus Senegal, why are both of them still coming off of the bench? And also, if we look at the three faces of this Team USA team, the three most popular players, it's Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers, and Angel Reese. Now, Angel Reese started in the first game, and Paige Beckers started in this game. I don't understand why Caitlin Clark is still coming off the bench, and I get it. It's not. I'm gonna reiterate this. It's not that big of a deal that she's not starting, but I do think she deserves to start.
The biggest disappointment of the night, however, was once again seeing Caitlin Clark coming off the bench, having one of the most exciting playmakers in the game sitting on the sidelines while the offense struggles to find rhythm makes very little sense. Just recently against Senegal, she delivered a dominant double-double and sliced through the defense with 12 impressive assists, clearly looking like the best player on the court. Yet in this game she was treated like someone still fighting for a role in the rotation. When you have a generational talent capable of controlling the pace and creating offense for everyone, you do not ask her to wait while the offense stalls. It is not just a questionable decision. It feels like a missed chance to show fans what elite basketball can truly look like.
This Team USA team, the three most popular players, it's Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers, and Angel Reese. Now, Angel Reese started in the first game, and Paige Beckers started in this game. I don't understand why Caitlin Clark is still coming off the bench, and I get it. It's not. I'm gonna reiterate this. It's not that big of a deal that she's not starting, but I do think she deserves to start. I think it's a bit of a missed opportunity. I do think when you're coming off of a game where she played the way that she did, where she was clearly the best player on the court, she earned her start, and it's like you could have started the second unit. And Ryan Howard is also in the unit that Caitlin Clark was playing in during this game. Like they're basically doing this system in these teams.
What made things even more puzzling was how Clark was used once she finally stepped on the floor. Instead of allowing her to run the offense, the team often had her playing off the ball. For a player whose strength is controlling the game as a primary ball handler, that approach felt completely backwards. Clark thrives when she is directing the offense and setting the tempo, yet in this game she often stood on the perimeter while others tried to initiate the sets. She did not record a single assist until the fourth quarter, which says more about the system than about her performance. When you have a player who can draw defensive attention the moment she crosses half court, the obvious move is to let her orchestrate the offense. Turning her into a spot-up option wastes the creativity and vision that make her special.
It seemed like Caitlin Clark was playing off the ball. We've seen that it doesn't work. I'm gonna scream into this microphone. It doesn't work when Caitlin plays off the ball. She is a ball-dominant point guard. If you want her to play off the ball, you're going to change the way that Caitlin Clark plays. And again, you guys, I don't want to overreact to this because we've seen 2 games, okay? We have seen 2 games, but I don't like when coaches start playing Caitlin Clark in a position where she doesn't thrive. Now, what we saw from Caitlin Clark in the game last night is she had a double-double. She scored, 17? I don't even remember now, but she had a double-double and she had 12 assists.
Meanwhile, head coach Carol Lawson seemed to be constantly experimenting with the lineup combinations. While it is understandable to test different rotations during qualifying games, there is a clear line between experimentation and disrupting the team's rhythm. In the previous game against Senegal, the offense flowed smoothly and the chemistry between players looked natural. That formula worked, so it raised the question of why it was changed so drastically. The constant lineup changes made it difficult for the team to develop any real identity or consistency. At times it even looked like players were unsure about their positions or roles on the floor. Building a championship-level team usually requires stability, not constant reshuffling that makes each quarter feel like a trial run.
In this game until the fourth quarter, and that's Caitlin Clark's strongest attribute is her playmaking ability. If she doesn't have the ball, and a lot of times you guys, even like Angel Reese was bringing the ball up the court, like they had Angel Reese point forward happening, which slows down the entire offense. Kalia Copper was also in that lineup, and Kalia Copper was bringing up the ball. Kalia Copper plays better off the ball than Caitlin Clark plays better off the ball. Kelsey Plum was another player when Caitlin and Kelsey Plum were in the lineup. Kelsey Plum, by the way, started off the game amazing. She had a great start to the game. She had the first, I think she had like 9 of the first 12 points from Team USA. But
another issue that stood out was how Team USA allowed itself to play down to the level of the competition. Puerto Rico played with intensity, energy, and physical defense, and they clearly tried to slow the game down. But talent-wise, they are not on the same level as this American roster. Instead of taking control early, Team USA allowed the game to become messy and overly physical. Ball movement slowed down, off-ball motion disappeared, and possessions often turned into isolation plays. When a team has a clear talent advantage, it should be setting the tempo and dictating the style of play. Instead, Puerto Rico managed to influence the rhythm for most of the game, which is not something you want to see from a team with championship expectations.
that you should try to change the style of basketball that Caitlin Clark plays by playing her out of position. If you have somebody that is so dominant and creates so much opportunity for her teammates when she is playing point guard, when she has the ball in her hands, and that was the thing in this game. Caitlin Clark got the ball. Once she got rid of the ball, she was not getting it back. She really wasn't. Like, that was it. She wasn't going to see it. There was a point in the game that I was saying, Caitlin, just jack it. Like, pull a logo free. And it was something in the last game where she actually passed up quite a few three-pointers to get her teammates involved. So that was one of the biggest things when it comes to, again, the star that...
What makes the situation even more confusing is how different this performance looked compared to the game against Senegal. In that matchup, the offense was smooth, the transition attack was sharp, and every player seemed comfortable in their role. Less than a day later, the team suddenly looked disorganized, with missed assignments and stagnant possessions becoming the norm. That kind of drastic shift raises questions about what might be happening behind the scenes. Is communication breaking down? Is the pressure of representing Team USA affecting the players? Or was the preparation simply not good enough? Whatever the reason, a team representing the United States cannot afford to swing between performances like this.
For this game, there was a player who, or not a player, excuse me, the daughter of one of the coaches for Team Puerto Rico actually had a sign for Caitlin Clark. Like, how many fans are coming to see her? Obviously, this is going to be the biggest matchup of this FIBA World Cup qualifier. So again, it's not the end of the world. It's not that big of a deal, but it might kind of be a missed opportunity if you don't start her and she doesn't have the ball in her hands. Now, again, you guys, Paige Beckers has a great game. She had a great game, and I want to say something. I want to say something to Paige. I think Paige should shoot more three-pointers. That was the thing that I noticed from her.
Finally, there is the issue of how the team is handling its biggest stars. Caitlin Clark, Paige Bueckers, and Angel Reese. These three athletes are among the most recognizable faces in women's basketball right now, and are major reasons fans are tuning in. Yet it has been surprisingly difficult to see them share the court in a consistent and effective way. Reese started the first game, Bueckers started the next, and the rotations keep shifting so much that the trio never seems to develop real chemistry together. Considering their talent and popularity, they should be the core foundation of the team's strategy. Instead, the constant changes make it feel like they are pieces in an ever-changing rotation rather than the central pillars the team could build around.
Doesn't matter. I'm being overly critical though, because I feel like so many of us have just been waiting to watch some high-level good basketball, and there were so many fans. Like, I was seeing everybody commenting about it. Like, this was hard to watch. And at the same time, you guys, all eyes are on any of these women's basketball games because obviously the players and the WNBA are still very much in the middle of the CBA negotiations. So us as fans, we just want to see a good product on the court. This wasn't the greatest game. I will be interested to see what kind of lineups they throw out there for the Italy game, which that game is on Saturday. I will be live for that game, and I will also be live for the game on Tuesday.
Both she and Caitlin Clark looked like the best players on the court in the previous game, yet somehow both started this matchup back on the bench. It almost felt like the coaching staff refused to reward strong performances. Normally, when a player dominates in one game, you build on that momentum in the next one. Instead, the rotation shifted again, even though the earlier formula worked. Rhyne Howard has consistently brought energy and scoring when the offense stalls, so seeing both her and Clark push to smaller roles in the rotation left many fans confused. The logic behind those decisions was hard to understand. Another issue was the 5-in, 5-out substitution pattern that kept happening throughout the game. This isn't a youth league where everyone needs equal minutes. This is international competition, and momentum matters. Swapping out an entire lineup at once often destroys the rhythm the previous group built. The new unit suddenly has to adjust to the pace and flow of the game, which usually leads to rushed shots and poor spacing. That is exactly what we saw on the court. The lineups looked disconnected, the floor spacing suffered, and frustration started showing on the players' faces. Successful teams usually stagger their stars, so a primary playmaker is always running the offense. Treating substitutions like a hockey-style line change rarely works at this level. Angel Reese is known as one of the most reliable double-double players in the game, but this was not one of her strongest outings. The numbers might have looked decent, yet the game film tells a more complicated story. At times she was asked to bring the ball up the court like a point forward, which slowed the offense down significantly. Reese is most dangerous near the basket, battling on the boards and finishing inside. When the offense moves slowly, defenses have time to get set, the paint becomes crowded, and shots become far more difficult. Using her this way took away from her biggest strengths and disrupted the overall flow of the team. The pace of the game was another frustrating element. Team USA usually thrives when they play fast, using their athleticism to overwhelm opponents in transition. But in this game, the tempo slowed down dramatically. With a playmaker like Caitlin Clark, who can deliver pinpoint passes from well beyond half court, you would expect the team to push the ball constantly. Instead, possessions often started slowly, giving the defense plenty of time to organize. When someone other than a natural guard brought the ball up the floor, the result frequently ended with a contested mid-range shot or a turnover. For a team that is supposed to represent the most exciting style of basketball, it made the game surprisingly difficult to watch. Kelsey Plum did begin the night with strong energy. She scored 9 of the team's first 12 points and looked ready to carry the offense early on. For a moment it appeared she might control the momentum of the game. However, as the rotations kept changing and the offense lost structure, even her impact faded. Plum is most effective when the floor is spaced and the ball moves quickly, but too often she was forced into difficult contested shots because the offense had stalled. When even experienced stars struggle to find clean scoring opportunities, it usually points to a larger system problem. Perhaps the most surprising stat of the night was Caitlin Clark's assist total. Seeing one of the best passers in college basketball history go nearly 3 full quarters without recording an assist is extremely unusual. It wasn't about her ability, it was about the role she was given. She rarely had the ball long enough to control the offense, and when she did receive it, she often had to pass it away immediately. At times you could see the frustration building. Fans in the arena were even shouting for her to shoot from deep because it felt like that was the only way she would get an opportunity. Speaking of the arena, the atmosphere itself told an interesting story. The building was packed, and many people were clearly there to watch Caitlin Clark play. Her impact on fan interest is undeniable, even outside the United States. The energy was strong before the game began, and many fans had traveled long distances and spent significant money to witness a generational talent in action. When a player with that level of attention spends long stretches on the bench or is used in a limited role, it can feel disappointing for those who came to watch her perform. Her influence was visible even beyond the American fans. At one point, cameras showed the daughter of a Puerto Rican coach holding a sign supporting Caitlin Clark. Moments like that highlight how much global attention she is bringing to women's basketball. When a player has that level of recognition, it only makes sense to showcase her strengths and let her impact the game. Interestingly, FIBA has used Clark heavily in promotional material for the tournament. Her image appears in posters, social media clips, and much of the event's marketing. Because of that, many fans expected to see her playing a central role during the games themselves. When the on-court usage does not match the promotion, it can create a noticeable disconnect between the hype and the product on the floor. One of the more efficient performances of the night came from Paige Bueckers. She finished the game shooting 7 of 12 from the field and displayed the smooth mid-range shooting that has become her signature. Her jumper looked reliable throughout the night, and she managed to find scoring opportunities even when the offense struggled. At times, though, she appeared slightly hesitant to take three-point shots, often choosing to step inside the arc instead. With her shooting ability, expanding that perimeter aggression could make her even more dangerous. If Bueckers becomes more willing to attack from beyond the three-point line, defenders will have an even harder time containing her. When the ball swings to her on the perimeter, quick confidence from deep could open the floor for everyone else. She already has the skill set to be one of the most efficient scorers in the game, and adding a higher volume of three-point attempts would make her even tougher to guard. All of this is happening while the WNBA is dealing with important business matters off the court. Players and the league are currently involved in major collective bargaining discussions that could shape the future of the sport. Because of that, every game is receiving increased attention from fans and media. People want to see the highest possible level of basketball, and performances like this make the conversation more complicated. One bright moment came from Ray Burrell, who didn't enter the game until the fourth quarter, but immediately brought strong energy. Coming off the bench after sitting for most of the game is never easy, yet she managed to make an impact quickly. Her effort showed that there is plenty of talent available on the roster that could contribute more if given the right opportunities. In the end, Team USA will likely continue winning games in this qualifying tournament simply because of their overwhelming talent advantage. But victories alone are not the goal. Fans want to see improvement, chemistry, and a clear style of play that reflects modern basketball. If the team continues struggling with rotations and ignores the strengths of its top players, tougher opponents like Italy or Spain could expose those weaknesses.